Hello YouTube, this is Michael from PhoneJunkie.org. I'm doing a review here of the Motorola Droid Razr Maxx. This is currently on Verizon Wireless network. It is $299.99 with a 2-year contract, of course. This is a 4G LTE device. It is being shipped with 2.3 Android, which is also known as Gingerbread. Motorola did say that ice cream sandwich will be coming here in the next couple months. Now the difference between this and the Motorola Droid Razr is pretty much the battery. This has a battery rated at 3,300 milliamps hour battery. It has a 21.5 hour talk time. But the specs are completely the same, pretty much. Dual core 1.2 gigahertz processor. It has 16 gigabytes internal storage. It comes pre-installed with a 16 gigabyte SD card. It supports up to a 32 gigabyte micro SD card also. The difference here is the physical feature of the phone. A little bit thicker. 8.99 millimeters thick. Still has a 4.3 inch Super AMOLED QHD screen. It's made with Kevlar fiber. Help make the phone more sturdy. It also has a scratch resistant Gorilla Glass, and this is made to be splash resistant also, not waterproof, in case you actually get a splash or two on there. Go ahead and go over the device layout here. Alright, right here you have a little door here. Has a micro SD card. And then you have your SIM card holder right there. Alright, go to the top here. You have a 3.5 millimeter head jack right here. You have your micro USB port for charging and connecting to the computer or whatever right there. Then you have a micro HDMI cable. Then you turn it over here and you have your power and lock on and off button there. You have your volume rocker here. And all these right here, like when you push them, they actually feel really nice, real solid build. And that's one thing I've come to appreciate with the Motorola lineup. I remember when the first Razr was ever released, and I think that was right at the beginning of the era, right before smartphones were starting to, get out there. I remember everyone had the Motorola Razr. But anyhow, you can notice right here, as on the original Motorola Razr Droid, that you have the, real thin, and then it has a little hump here that you can really notice. On here it's not so much noticeable. So it goes straight down. But in my opinion, this fits in my hand a lot better than the original Motorola Droid Razr. The Droid Razr was it's real thin, just for my preference. I just didn't really like how thin it was, and this right here is a much better fit for me. So that extra space for the battery is actually a plus side for me. Some people might say, I like that thinness, they didn't really care about the battery, so that might be the deal breaker for them. Alright, so we'll go ahead and go over the camera while we're going over the features of it. So you have a 8 megapixel rear facing camera capable of doing 1080p high definition video up to 30 frames per second and capturing 1920 by 1080 resolution. You have your LED flash right here, right next to it. Alright, then you turn it over and you'll have your 1.3 megapixel front facing camera capable of recording 720 high definition video capture. And then you just have your 4 little touch buttons down here that you just push to access a little menu pop up right there. back, search, home key, and from what I've been told, those will still be integrated into ice cream sandwich. A lot of people were asking, what are they going to do when ice cream comes out with the, it being on the screen. But from what I've been told, they're still going to be integrated into ice cream sandwich. Alright, now let me go ahead and start my experience with it. I've had this phone for about 10 days now, roughly, and my personal experience with it, with phone quality, it was pretty outstanding. Real nice signal. Person said they were able to hear me. I was able to hear them. We had no dropped calls, anything of that nature. The speakerphone was really good. So for phone quality, this was really well. It has a 21.5 hour talk time. I obviously didn't, test it to that max, but I can tell you this is that I have probably about 80% battery left, and I didn't charge the phone at all last night. I charged it the night before, which would show you actually how good the battery is. I haven't really been playing a lot of games on this phone. My personal opinion on the way the hardware is, I shouldn't say hardware, on the operating system, is that everything works really well. The applications open fast. There's no lag. I didn't have to use a task killer or anything like that. Once I open up something, it opened really fast. It's just the whole look of it. To me, it's like using Windows 95 on a new computer that just released. The applications just look a little old. It just, everything's just so square, and it just doesn't seem like it has any animation, any feel to it. And whenever you want to add something to the home screen, gotta highlight it, put add to home screen, like that. Some of the newer phones, you just hold it and it'll automatically go to the home screen in like a 3D effect, and that actually gives you a little bit more personal feel with it. It's just a lot cooler than hitting add to home screen. To me, that just makes me feel like I'm using one of the older phones, going back to the days of using the Mogul with Sprint. Not really, but the applications, they still all did what they needed to do. They worked very well. Another thing I like with this phone is the Smart Actions. It helps with automatically adjusting your phone settings. So a lot of you that have never really seen Smart Actions, you can actually set rules. Go here, see if I can find it. I haven't played with it that much. Alright, we'll go Smart Action. I was trying to pull up the... Anyways, when I typed in Smart Actions yesterday, it pulled up a video on it. I was going to show that video real quick. There was a YouTube video that was like the first one to pop up that showed exactly how it worked. But on the Smart Actions, actually I'll just go in here. I haven't played with it too much, so I really can't show you in advance exactly how it works. So, but anyway, you'll have rules that you can set. For example, you can tell your phone to vibrate when you arrive at work. A lot of people are saying they're able to increase their battery life by just having it adjust certain settings. When your battery gets to a certain level. So once your battery starts dying, if you're a heavy user, you're constantly running into battery problems. Towards the end of the day. You can tell it, like once your battery reaches 30%, you can tell it to adjust the screen's brightness. And that way you're not always having to do it yourself, because that is frustrating, having to go in there, make sure your Wi-Fi's turned off, your Bluetooth's turned off, your locations, your GPS is turned off, and then remember to turn it back on. So this will do all that for you. It comes preloaded with, suggestions, low battery saver. See, when your battery is low, make it last up to 2 times longer by limiting internet access and allowing smart actions to dim your screen, turn off GPS, suspend email, social network, and other background updates. So if that's something you ever want to do, it's already preloaded on there. And here's a few samples. Your car, open maps and adjust settings to optimize your car device for use in the car. So once you get in your car, it'll automatically, connect your car Bluetooth, for example. Adjust your ringer at night so you can sleep soundly. Silence your phone when you are in a meeting so you can stay focused at work. Plays your favorite playlist when you use headphones. Just different things like that. I actually thought it was pretty cool. I would actually like to see this on a lot more devices out there, and hopefully a lot more, start to include it. I've known a few people to get this phone just because of the smart actions. A lot of people are constantly on the go, things like that, and it's hard to adjust your phone sometimes when you're constantly out. It's forgetting this, forgetting that, and this will definitely help you in that sense.